Welcome back to another episode of The Road to 2200. Let's get this party started. And my opponent is playing d4, so I'm going to play d5. I'm going to go into our Queen's Gambit declined. Probably nothing too exciting, but who knows. I am 1986. My opponent is 1946. Just a disclaimer. This is the first game I've played longer than a Blitz game in about a week and a half. I've been having all kinds of struggles, and so hopefully this will work out. Okay, so what is this? I don't understand that move. So that move is what? To follow up a quick b4 and just really hammer on the queen side? I don't know. I don't think that changes what I do. I think I still just, play good chess, develop pieces. Seems reasonable. Okay. If they come here, I guess I don't really have time to just do that. I'll go here first. I don't think it matters. My moves are develop the bishop, develop the knight, develop the other bishop. I guess what HA3 does do is keep my bishop out of b4. I don't know that that's that big of a deal. I usually play the bishop on e7. I assume they're going to play bishop g5. I don't really know what's happening here. Certainly, my opponent is certainly playing this in a way that I'm not expecting. Does that mean bad? No, it does not mean bad. Okay, so they're taking away this diagonal. I think first thing I want to do is make them decide, what are you doing with the bishop? Are you taking here? Are you going back? Okay. Then I'm just going to castle. And now I really have the decision point of what's happening with this bishop. I think it's going to e6. e6 is a reasonable spot for it. Yeah, like it's not super strong, but it seems fine enough. Wait, hold on. This knight is going to come around to here. I can't go there, so that's even safer. So sure. I mean, I'm just kind of bringing my pieces out at the moment. I'm not doing anything too special with them. I'm probably going to go here, here. I don't really know where the queen is going to go. Okay. I mean, that looks nice. I don't know what the battery does. Like, it looks cool. It looks like it does a lot, but I'm not sure it does much of anything. Okay, so what if I go here? Take. One more time. I go there. Takes with the fork, but they're easily covering it. Then my knight goes to f6. I think all I do there is sack a pawn, which I don't really think there's any need to sack a pawn there. I'm just going to bring my rook over, and maybe I'm wishing my bishop wasn't here now. Perhaps I'm going to move my bishop here so that maybe I can go here. Because then it's like after this take, I'm here, and then they take, I take. That doesn't work as well. And otherwise, I'm not really sure what to do. The other move is like develop this knight, rook. But I think putting this bishop here seems reasonable. I do not think they will push it away. I won't be shocked if they come in here. And then I'll probably go here, here, jump into there. And then we're going to have a lot of little mini fireworks. A lot of stuff's going to get traded. And I don't think I come out better from the trade. But if I get rid of, like, that battery. That seems kind of nice. Breaks it up a little bit. I will have this pawn probably sort of, I don't know. I don't know if the word I want to use is cemented on e4 or just kind of sitting on e4. Yeah, and actually if they play knight e5, don't they lose a pawn? I take with the knight. They take with the pawn. I go there. He goes there. Actually, it's very interesting. It's quite a deep line, I think. So here, here, takes, here, here, here. And because they have that pawn in the way, they can go... Wait, one more time. Here, 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 here. Takes there. I can't take back because the pawn's in the way. So I take the pawn back. They run back. We don't even have to run back because of the knight. And maybe that doesn't look that great for me. I don't know. I'm having kind of a hard time seeing exactly where we are. I think after that, we have a very, I don't know how I want to say it, like opposite symmetrical position. Like they have these 4 pawns. I'll have these 3. So yeah, so I'll have that 3 on 2. Okay, I think it works the way I'm thinking. One more time. Takes, takes. Okay. Then when they take, I kind of have to go there. Then I think they need to take here. I take back. So I'm here. This pawn's here. My knight is here. They take with their knight. I take them. They take with the bishop. I go here with the queen. Yeah, I think that's what we're doing. It looks fine. It looks like a lot of stuff gets traded. I think at the end of this, I guess a better question might be, is that what I want to do? Like if I go here, I guess the problem is they follow with f5, f4, and kind of cement everything. And I don't think I want that. So here, 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 they could still play f4. Yeah, maybe they can do that. I'm not seeing a good way around that situation. At the end of that, I do have queen here if they play f4. No, it's not a check. Yeah. I'll just go here. I'm going to assume they're going to go here. Okay, they're going that way. Interesting. Kind of forces my hand. I have to take. Oh, are they going here? And then will I just be down a pawn? I didn't see that. Yeah, that's a pretty big hole in my reasoning. Because now if I go here, they take. Yeah, I didn't calculate that variation, and now after I move the bishop, well, then they just get to cement that pawn. So that actually went very poorly for me. It looks like I'm behind now, which is frustrating since I sort of orchestrated this whole thing, and I orchestrated probably a loss. Just desperately trying to find, is there something clever here? I don't think, yes, there is. There's this move, and then if they take, they lose a piece. And if they move away, I do get this pawn. Is that good enough? I'm gonna go with yes. I don't know. I might just end up losing this pawn. I might get this pawn, lose this pawn. We'll see. Oh, I missed this check. Okay. Which might still let them have time to do that. That's unfortunate. Probably that is what they'll do. And probably that means I will lose. Well, I don't know about lose. Probably lose. Because now also this pawn looks all weird, and I wish I hadn't done that. I just didn't see this check. I was looking at so many other things. Okay, so if I go here and let them trade, and then they go there, now it's much worse. Now the fact that they've kind of weakened their king a bit gives me zilch. I can't attack anything. Yeah, that's too bad. I think I just have to move the king over and say mistakes were made. Now they go here, and I don't really know what I do from there. I do have this, if I could somehow get that going. So if I take the open file and they challenge me, I don't think that does much for me. Take. So like, takes, go there, takes here. All I'm doing is trading off. I'm looking at this idea, but I don't think that does anything either. These pieces can't really work together to do much. I'm wondering if I could do something like G5. And then if I go here, this is hanging. If they take, I probably have to take here. G5 looks incredibly dangerous. So let's do it. I didn't look at this, but there is space for the bishop to get away. And this, I think... Oh, okay. I didn't really look at that very carefully. I was kind of looking at like this, and I don't think they want to do that. But this looks pretty solid. Okay. They are doing that. I don't think I have much choice but to go here. Now if they go here, that would be amazing. And even here looks pretty good. I swing a rook over, I start pressuring that pawn. The king's looking quite airy now. In fact, I'm kind of wondering, like, is there something else I should be doing? But I don't think so. I think going here, hitting this pawn, that looks pretty good. And yes, my king is weaker, but I kind of feel like now I've made it a more interesting game. Whereas before I was just kind of down a pawn without a lot happening. Will I lose this? Most likely. But here, this does not work. They could... Oh, and they can't go there. Okay, they could just move up to king. And then I'll just double on it. So, I don't know. This looks pretty reasonable. And this knight can't get in, which is quite nice. They're just kind of down a piece there. Okay, that looks like a good way to handle that. If I double... Oh, I also have this idea. To hit the queen, make it move. Unfortunately, the knight is covering that. Ah. Now maybe this looks better. If here takes there... Yeah, I don't know. This looks more reasonable now. I was going to double, but I don't think doubling does as much as just taking more pressure. Because now I'm starting to come in there. And then they're going to lose. If I get this move in and they have to scoot back, and then I take this pawn, then they lose. Everything falls apart. So they have to find a way to stop that. I mean, I think just rook a to d1. Oh, they can't. The bishop. Wow, somehow I missed my bishop was actually doing something. And they can't play g4. Yeah, so certainly by making this game more interesting, I have done something, right? I don't know if it's going to be enough to win, but I've certainly given myself some chances. Also, I guess after rook d2, I was thinking I was basically winning. The knight could block. No, the knight can't block because of the bishop. This bishop, like, who would have thought that this would be the key piece in this position? That is kind of crazy. The rook can't go here to defend. The knight can't go here to stop checks. The rook can't go here to contest the open file. The queen can't go here to contest this. This bishop is the MVP. I think probably best is for them to sack and exchange here. Why was I not thinking they could do that? Okay, that's a pretty obvious move. Okay. Yeah. What? Why was I so excited and thinking that I was in business? I think I will go here and hit this. And then they'll have to bring that rook over. And then what? This is why I gotta figure out how to make progress here. I'm looking at sacking the rook on g3. I'm just trying to calculate what would that look like. Takes. Queen comes over. I don't think that works. It just looks like in the end the G file's open and I'm down a rook and I can't penetrate it and I have nothing. Queen g7. It looks like it just means rook g1. And how do I handle that? Doesn't look like there's anything there. I kind of like to just go rook d7, queen d8, and make some mayhem that way. Another possibility is to do something like bishop g4 and bring the queen in on the h file. I don't think that's going to work very well. I can also do the idea of bringing the bishop back to f7 and kind of chasing away the queen. I don't really know what to do. Another thing I need to worry about is this pawn, actually. So, like, if I move over, they can just drop the pawn in. And I don't know what moving over does for me. So I'm going to go here. I don't know that this is right. I don't like kind of pulling my queen away from somewhere she can penetrate. Maybe the answer, though, is I can just push this h pawn, and then eventually they'll have to allow something to get in there. Yeah, so I could go like here. I guess they could push that pawn, huh? Can they do that? Can they just push that pawn? Why can't they push the pawn? I mean, I guess the pawn becomes kind of a target at that point. You can probably pile up on it and win it by like going here, here. So maybe that's what I'm going to do here, actually, is I'm going to win that pawn back to start with. And then if I push this, they can't take. If they try to push by, I take, they take. I can't take with the queen. Hmm. I don't know, this plan seems quite flawed. Alright, I'm going to try to lure them into pushing this pawn. I think that is not a good plan for them. I think it looks promising, and I think it will lose. Because they have to keep a lot guarding that, and I can go here to attack the pawn, and I can go here to attack the pawn. I don't think it will work. The big question is, after they push, what am I doing with the bishop? Here or coming back? Also, they might just reroute the queen to a better spot. Like, they could go, like, say, here, and just put a little pressure on me. Okay, yeah, so they're deciding to go that route. I'm not sure I mind if they bring their queen way out of play like that. I actually think I want my rook here now. That might win. Now I've got a third thing on there. Then they might have to go there. If they go there, then what? Yeah, I mean, if nothing else, it's just so limiting their pieces. Seems quite good. I wish that knight wasn't there. I could put my bishop on d5. I would feel quite good about this position. Maybe now I can just push the h-pawn. Push the h-pawn, takes... Not quite. So go there, takes. That doesn't work. I could take the knight with the rook sack. I don't think I want to do that. I think probably pushing the h-pawn is the way to go. I mean, this seems pretty straightforward. You move the rook over. So I'm quite confused as to what is happening. I suppose maybe they're looking at swinging the knight back, which I think would be not a good idea. Then my bishop gets to come in, and that looks annoying at a minimum. Might be only annoying. But then maybe I can go here. Yeah, I don't know. This is tough. Looks like a very obvious move. I think I'm just going to assume they're going to move the rook over. The question after that is, do I give my opponent a or both pawns? If I'm going to do that, I need to see some sort of victory here. And I don't see that. Like, even if I go here, if this rook is here and they takes, rook takes. Actually, that's mate. Depending if, not if this queen stays on this diagonal. Again, I don't want my queen in front in all these setups, so I think a mistake was made there. I'm also looking at perhaps something like this and this. Okay, so that was the obvious move. What about bishop here? He takes, rook takes, and then what? How do I get at this king? here. Does not work. Man. Okay. Do I go here, here? Here, here. There is also a little bit interesting. Here, here, here. Can move the rook anywhere. Okay, I'm seeing some stuff here. I'm also looking at what about here, here, here. That's mate. So we'd have to give up some breathing room. But if here, there, then maybe I have nothing. Man. This is so challenging. I think the next move is here. And then I assume here, perhaps? Then what if I push these? Ooh, okay. I cannot believe that that's right. No way that's right. Takes, here. Takes. Nope, can't start there. This queen is very awkwardly placed, is the problem. Okay, so we're going to start here. They're going to take here. What if I go here? And then they take. And I go check. They can't go back. That's mate. If I go here. They go here. I go here. They go there to block. And then I go check. And they go there. And I go here. Okay, I gotta do some no arrows calculation here. There, check. Blocks. Check with a rook first. If they block with a rook. There. The rook comes over. Oh, and I still have this rook. So I think this works. I can't quite see it all the way, but I think this works out. This check and this check, I think, are too much to overcome. Because I still have this rook helping out with any other checks. In fact, if they go here, and I go here, and they go here, I think I could just take this way. And then I'm up in exchange. Thankfully, this pawn is here and making it so they cannot do anything to me. I guess there is an issue. I think it works out, though. That let's say they go here. No, that doesn't work. Let's say they go here. Stop that. That's even worse. Okay, I don't know. But the point is, I was looking at something like takes, this actually wins a piece. because the rook's being hit twice. It kind of depends on what they do here. Maybe they're going to do something like move the knight back and guard the pawn that way. That wouldn't be super unreasonable. I think my idea of just taking him with the bishop would work then. With the idea of queen h5 coming. So they would have to find some way to stop that. They can't just take the bishop. I don't know. It felt like a big mistake on their part to offer up all this. Okay, so maybe that's the way to do it. Let's see. I go take here, check. Now they can block with the rook. I can also just run away with the bishop. All right, like that's a possibility. So which way do I want to do this? I could also go here. Takes, check, blocks, takes, check, blocks because of that. That was a good move. That was a good move. Okay, takes here. So that rook is there. I have that check, but I also have coming around here, which does nothing. Yeah, I think probably the best idea is here, here. They're kind of steamrolling me. I might just die. Huh. Takes. I can't find it. I think I have something there. I think in a classical game I might have been able to find that, but I don't. I mean, I took almost all my time. I'm down to a minute, and the position's about to be just as complicated. So I'm going to lose now on time because I put everything into that moment, and I just couldn't make it work, which is very frustrating. It's hard putting all your eggs in one basket and then having the basket break. I think I just saw a move that was much better, but it's okay. We're going to go here and just hope not to lose. And then we'll look at the move I thought was better afterwards. Yeah, and I can't go here, which is annoying. So I would have to go all the way to here. Okay. Can I go here? Takes. I don't think so. Problem is my opponent's going to go here, I think. I'm going to go here. Add another attacker to that pawn. This pawn is now pinned, so if I take here... Actually, it's not pinned, because I go here, and then I go here first to break the pin. Okay, intriguing. I'm gonna go... Can I go here, check, and make something happen? Check. They have to go back, basically. And what? Nothing? Well, let's see what we got. Look at that check, and then I'm going here. Oh, they have this check. That's very strong. Yeah, there's a lot of bad things happening to me right now. I'm gonna go here only because I'm like out of time here. I'm trying to prevent this check. Okay. That breaks up that pin. All those possibilities are gone. So I need to go for cheap shots. Like, if this rook was... Well, it doesn't do anything. I was thinking I'd be able to go here and mate, but I cannot. I only have 10 seconds. Like, I'm dead. Unfortunately, I have lost this game. Don't see any cheapos or anything. Okay, that's an interesting one. Guess I'm going here. And now I'm just down 2 pawns. So yeah, that's gonna be a problem. They're about to get a queen. Wait. I now have this check. And they go here. There's nothing, right? Check. Here, here. It's a fork, but then they get a queen. That queen alone just wins. Okay, well this makes it a little interesting, I guess. Not really. I just lose everything. Yeah. Alright, well, that was annoying. So I don't really know what happened in that game. Let's take a look, see what we got. Okay. Alright, so first of all, what is with this move? That is a pretty rare move. So it wasn't my imagination. That's a very rare move. They're white, so they can do whatever they want. Right? It's not like that causes them problems in any way. In fact, interestingly, according to the openings book, this is a 42% win rate for white, 42% draw, and only 17% win for black. But the engine doesn't love it. So, okay. Alright. So just playing normal moves. Interesting that this is completely out of the database now. And this game feel... Okay. We need to look at this. It turns out this was a bad spot for the bishop. And I was really wrestling with. So, engine likes... Okay, now I understand. It was saying G6 last turn. I didn't really understand it. So that I could go here. It's saying knight e4 right away. The reason is because of this whole thing. We still end up with our pawn here in the middle. Or we could even pin here, and then they would go here, and we'd end up with that same thing. Or just moving rook to e8. But putting the bishop here, it's kind of a weird spot. Like, the engine is like, it's not terrible, but I don't know, I don't like it there. And I didn't like it there either, and suddenly I realized, like, oh, it's not in the best spot. Engine here likes knight f8. Sorry, not engine, the opening database. Like, we're suddenly back into an opening. Engine says bishop d6 is good. Just develop the knight. This is fine. It's just going to do all the things I thought, except if I go this way, it drops a pawn because of the line I missed. So what I needed to do was go here and just admit that they can have f4 if they want, which instantly loses on the spot because they lose their bishop. So they can't do that. They have to go here, here, take first, then I take, then f4. And this was a position I looked at, and I kind of went like, I don't really like this. The engine says it's totally fine. There's nothing to fear, of course. I'm the engine. That's not that bad. I didn't love it. So I decided not to go down that road. I decided to go down this road, and I thought we'd get the exact same thing, only with a slightly better position for me. And then I realized, oh, this is a big problem. I'm down a pawn. I thought I found a cute solution, just made the problem worse. And now the computer's like, you're dead. It's +2 for white. And so I'm kind of happy I made this decision, right? The evaluation I gave was not quite +2, but it was like at least +1, maybe 1.5, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna lose a long, slow, terrible game. So let's make it an interesting game. This gives my opponent lots of chances to mess up. And suddenly I bet the computer says it's a little bit better. Yeah, computer says it's all the way down to 0.5 now. Because they've had to weaken their king for no reason. Now we're piling up on it. Suddenly I feel like I'm better here. I might be down a pawn, but I feel like I'm winning. The engine says you're a fool. It is +1. But I still think my position looks quite strong. Especially now here. Like we are the one pushing. But this move is easy. Is that an only move? Yeah, that's an only move. This move was the only other move that gave some sort of chances, but as I saw in the game, I could just go here and it's completely even. So my opponent took a long time for this only move, which is a little surprising. I'm basically dead here, and now I'm just probing. I thought this was a bad move, but the computer says this is a very good move. And in fact, is it the best move? Yes, this is the best move in the position. So I didn't quite evaluate it right. I thought this move was gold. There is an only move. Boom. They found it. An only move. Everything else is terrible. This move utterly wins the game on the spot. They made it. And congrats to them, right? Like, I think if I can take a game from being lost to only move territory, that's pretty good. Okay, I did miss a huge moment here. So I saw this, and I saw this, and I said, this doesn't quite work, right? Like, black to move, this is checkmate. So, yeah, so, wait, why was I saying this didn't work? Because of this. If I go here, then they would just take me, and I lose. There is a way forward here. I could have taken this way, saving my bishop, my queen, the exact same scenario. This is actually checkmate. So they cannot take. I've got my pawn back. Their position is kind of a wreck. They can take here. Yeah, maybe it's not quite as bad, but I guess I can take with a rook, right? I can take here. No, that loses. Why does this lose? Is it because of this? No, not because of that. Okay. But I could slide in this check. I could slide in this check, which is just makes it equal. He goes here. What do I do here to equalize? Engine says rook g6. Ah, yes, threatening mate. Well, yes, threatening mate, actually, because if here takes. Okay, yeah, so then they have to, like, maybe just perpetual, actually. But basically, we've reached a draw. I missed it, which is so maddening, because I saw this piece of it. I just missed the queen, and now it's over. Like, there's just nothing to be done after this point. Opponent just trades down and wins with their queen. Interesting game for sure. The opening was intriguing in that this one move ended up being really annoying for this kind of stuff. I have to remember this pattern that I think here I just do this right away and get this resolved. And then go from there. And here I could probably just play f5 and have a nice knight in the middle or whatever I want. So, okay. And then in the end, tactics, right? Like, tactics are always the thing. I never did have the attack. I thought I might have missed a move to win it. I didn't have a move, but I did simply have a... Here we go. I can make one clever move and it's drawn. So, oh well. That was the road to 2200, and I'll see you next time.